allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So we'll have the approval of the agenda. Anything to add or?
I did add the bold board policy, but it's just a reading, nothing that we're voting on. So I don't know that we actually need to amend that. Okay.
Motion to approve the agenda. Second.
All in favor? Thank you. Administrative update. Here you have.
Okay. So today we tried our first No Tech Tuesday. Went very well. Only 12 phones were taken in the whole building, mostly middle school. But only 12 phones were taken. iLearn is completely wrapped up as of now, except for I learned government and biology in this Friday, and then all testing will be completed, and then finals will start next week. Finals are on Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday are makeup days for finals next week. And then the last day of school will be Thursday. So we're almost there.
Yes.
We're gonna do the celebrations thing.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, you do your administrative.
Well, I'm gonna stop. Do you wanna know for me?
Okay. Are we gonna recognize leader?
It's okay. I think Amy Stevens was planning to attend, so I was gonna give her a couple more minutes, to be able to recognize. We're gonna do that right now. Is that correct, or?
I was going to, if you, whatever you were presenting, if you want to do yours while you're waiting on her, that's fine.
Okay, sorry. We also have, congratulations to Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones received the Roger and Barbara Ward Education Award. This well-deserved honor is a reflection of your dedication, passion, and positive impact on students and education. Thank you for the difference you make every day. Mr. Jones is going to build and maintain a birdhouse, feeding station, and a bluebird trail on school grounds. And funds will also be used to purchase a bird buddy feeder equipped with a Wi-Fi camera. And also put out doors, correct?
Yes, and then also to see the attractors of the theater.
Awesome. So congratulations, Mr. Jones. And then Mrs. Kaylee Hansen, who could not be here this evening, she is cheering her children on at the track meet. Through her innovative teaching methods and commitment to student success, she has empowered countless students to gain confidence, not only in mathematics, but also in themselves. Congratulations on receiving the Henry County Teacher Excellence Award. Your hard work, dedication, and commitment to students truly make a difference each day. So, Mrs. Hansen was the Henry County Teacher of the Year.
Thank you.
Do you want to wait on her?
Well, I will see. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I might speak on her behalf, and then we'll play it by ear here. So,
Okay.
but yes, yeah. Well, yeah. As far as the end of the year for elementary goes, we had our amazing TED Ed experience that was at the end of April, and Mr. Jonathan Holmore was part of that, so he got to see firsthand, and I know a few of you were able to attend as well, but see the excellence that was presented. But I want to recognize Larissa Maddox, one of my staff members, for being the champion for our TED Ed program. It was neat. I went to District 6 principals meeting with, several principals in the area. There were superintendents speaking as well there on a superintendent's panel. And just to hear some of the highlights from the schools, that there was one school in particular that was very excited to showcase that as starting out. I thought that was so cool that we're already doing it, and it's blossoming so well. So wanted to give that a shout out. Administration testing. We are in the middle of our second round of iRead testing. So we are hoping to get more of our third grade students to pass. It's a second attempt for the second graders and the second attempt for third graders. Third graders who do not pass will have a third attempt after summer school. So right now we're looking at hosting 3 different classrooms for our summer school students. That will be very focused for iRead. So we're hoping that we can, again, push all the efforts that we can with reading interventions to make sure that we can give them every opportunity to pass. So So those are a couple of updates for us, and we'll go ahead and maybe start to share with our project Lead the Way. And I thought this was very impromptu as well, but I was gonna ask from a student perspective here, and we'll see if he answers for me here. But we were talking on the way here with my son Jude, you guys know him, but he is a second grader, and so he gets to have first-hand experience with Project Lead the Way. This is kind of the highlight of tonight. So Jude, what do you love about Project Lead the Way? You wanna share? So what do you get to do whenever you go to the student's class? You get to move to different centers and stations?
For some people like go to the stations and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
also like whenever there's not art stuff, whenever you don't have a stuff, you still get to do like really fun stuff.
Yeah, so really fun stuff. We didn't really rehearse that was an authentic answer for you, but very hands-on, you can hear that. And it's very fun and engaging. And I will say, like, seeing the projects come home as a mom first, before I was even staffed here at Tri Elementary, I got to see my older son bring home just that evidence of learning. It's a program that really takes it to the next level for our students. So I am going to say a couple of things on behalf of the program, and then I know anyone who knows and loves Amy Stevens, she will have a lot more to say about this. So when you walk through the hallways by the elementary gym, you might notice several banners that are hanging outside of the hallway, and those are recognizing our accomplishments and achievements of our school. And this year, we actually get to add one more, as we have once again been named a Project Lead the Way launched distinguished school. I felt that it was important to not only celebrate the recognition itself, but also tonight to recognize the face behind the program, and that is Mrs. Amy Stevens. Mrs. Amy Stevens, again, could probably say a lot more on this topic herself, but I do want to take a moment to just recognize her dedication, her leadership for this program. Project Lead the Way Launch is an elementary STEM program that it brings learning to life, and it's again through that hands-on inquiry and problem solving. So if you have a problem, what happens? What happens whenever you have a problem?
You can restart and try.
Restart and try again. It's huge on the design process, and that's something that I'm again grateful for as a mom. Just again, really being so intentional to build those opportunities in for our students. There's a lot of failure that happens when we're trying to do things in life, and that's not always a bad thing. And so I'm grateful that that mindset is very cultivated in our students. They also develop communication skills, and they're able to apply and integrate technology and engineering and mathematics in such meaningful ways. This program helps to build not only academic skills, but also confidence and perseverance, creativity, and curiosity in our students. So again, this recognition tonight with Mrs. Amy Stevens, it's not something that is just a random draw, or it's not something that is just, a note that arrives in the mail, but I wanted to recognize Mrs. Stevens for all that she does. It's a very detailed application process that sets our school apart. It truly does. So it showcases, again, the highlights of what we're doing in the classroom, and it just serves as that vessel to the, surrounding schools and the areas around us. And because of Mrs. Amy Stevens and her strength and her leadership, we have actually already, we've been doing this, and we're opening more doors in the future to host our school as an example site for other schools looking to host this program in their school as well. So, and that's all due, again, it's a team effort, and I know Mrs. Stevens would say the same thing, but she is such a catalyst for continuing this program and keeping it so vibrant in our school. She has such passion, organization, and commitment to providing that high quality education to our students. So very grateful for her, and again, thank you to your support for the program. It definitely is such a highlight for our journey for our students. So thank you.
The award that Russ got, it doesn't say that here, but that grant comes from Roger and Barbara Ward, Roger was on school board for a lot of years, and Barbara retired from teaching here. And the girls both come home to present it. And there might have been a little after party. But congratulations, they were thrilled with your project and that you won.
Do you guys want me to do the accountability presentation again? We don't have a big audience.
Know it.
I mean, and I can hit it real quick. I mean,
I'd say it's
Just-
hard to go over.
just a little bit,
Yes. So
people watching.
Yes,
Okay.
especially like the link for people to.
Yes. Okay, so, the new accountability, we will be getting school grades. This is considered year 0, so we'll get a grade, but it doesn't count, but they'll be out there, it's year 0. The reason they're coming up with these new accountability model is for transparency, they're academic and skills focused, student centered, and data driven. And this is straight from the DOE's website, and I do have a link to that at the end if anybody wants to go look at more. The big point of how we're going to calculate the majority of the grades are based on academic mastery plus an additional knowledge, skills, and experiences, which we actually refer to as student success indicators. So depending on what grade level a student is on or at will determine what academic mastery we're looking at, whether it's iLearn for our younger grades, K through 2, they're still trying to figure out what all is going to be used to calculate those scores. Credits, diplomas, seals as we get up to our seniors. And then there are multiple different student success indicators. However, one that you will see throughout the model is attendance. And regular school attendance is considered 94%. So a student has to be at 94% or higher, which is equivalent to 10 days missed per school year. And the reason they have it at 10 days is because research shows that once you miss more than 10 days, academics start to suffer. There's data to prove that that is the point that we start to see students slack and lose academic progress if they miss more than 10 days. So that's why the state picked that 94% and the 10 days per year. So again, K1 and 2, we're not 100% sure. There's supposed to be more information coming out, but right now, academic mastery is going to be based off that iLearn proficiency, which obviously is not given in K1 and 2. So this would be for 3rd grade. They will have a grade. They will earn a score for math and for English, and I'll do an example after a bit. But to begin with, you're going to look to see, did they meet that academic mastery? And then, did they get any additional knowledge or skills? So, did they pass iRead? Were they accelerated literacy, which we're not 100% sure exactly how that's going to be calculated. There's supposed to still be more information coming out behind the scenes on how some of that's calculated. One could be regular school attendance, or for the WIDA, the EL students reaching their proficiency goal. For 4th through 6th grade, you'll see, and even 7 and 8, you'll see that iLearn proficiency is what we're looking at for that academic mastery. But we will have some different things in each of these areas. For 4 through 6, previously when we had school grades, it was totally based off your English and math scores. Now, students can earn those additional knowledge, skills, and experiences through passing science iLearn or social studies iLearn, depending on what grade level they're at. Again, regular school attendance is one of them, for them to be able to earn that point. For 7th and 8th grade, you will also see that there is a graduation plan. Normally, we've done that in 8th grade. This year, were we able to get those done? Okay, that's what I thought. I knew that Kelly and I were at the meeting, that was the plan, to come back and push these out, not the way we would like to do it and not the way that we'll do it next year, but we're able to get that met at the 7th grade level, because that's what the state is saying we need to do. And also looking at getting as many opportunities for our students to earn high school credit so that it will count towards their score in 8th grade. For 9th and 10th grade, 9th grade, they need to be on track. And part of that is they've got to have 10 plus high school credits at the end of 9th grade. including 2 math, 2 English, 2 science, social studies. Actually in 10th grade, I think is what that is. 2 in science, social studies, or foreign language. So 10 or more, however, they're telling you these are some of the courses you have to have, and then additional. So that's that academic mastery piece, plus you earn points based on college and career coursework or CTE coursework, that I Learned Biology test, which before hadn't really counted for anything, but it's on here now. Meeting a benchmark on the PSAT, your school attendance or WIDA scores. When we get to 11th and 12th grade, it becomes a little different because it's an 80, 10, and 10. 80% is based off of the outcome, the diploma, and then these additional knowledge skills, just like we've been doing for the other bands. That's 80% of it, but then 10% is based on the graduation rate, and 10% of that score is based on SAT scores. I'm going to use 3rd grade, because 3rd grade is a little different because, you know, the state is very adamant about iRead. This is a very big thing. You have to pass iRead during your points. So I'm actually going to 4th through 8th grade to give you kind of an example. So for each student, they're going to earn a score. If they passed math, so they were at or above proficiency, and they did not, if that's all they did not get any success indicators, there were 75 points. But if they have attendance of that 94% or higher, they now get 85 points. If they were in the grade level that was taking a science biology or a science I-Learn and passed it, they're now at 95. Okay, that's for the math. But now let's say we're at English and they were approaching proficiency, or even let's go to below proficiency. You know, let's say we've got this kid that just could not pass that reading or that language arts piece, but they're at school every single day. Their attendance is there. Okay, they're worth 45 points. On the old grading scale, when we had school grades, if you didn't pass, you didn't get any points. So this is trying to give each kid the ability, looking at the whole a bigger picture rather than just a test score. And all of them are calculated similar to this. The one thing I will say is that if you notice on this in red, if you have an EL student and English as a second language student, English learner student, you can actually base it, instead of off their iRead, you can base it off their WIDA growth or proficiency to earn points. You don't earn as many points as if they pass the iRead, but it is another option, trying to make sure that we're leveling the playing field when necessary. Again, all of these are fairly similar until we get up to high school. It's a little different, but it's still the same concept. Where it gets tricky is from that 11th grade and 12th grade year, because we have more than one diploma type happening right now. So right now, we still have our academic or technical honors, 440 general diploma, but then we've got some that are going to be then going to that honors plus, honor seal the diploma, and then eventually this is where we land. But again, I want to go back to this one just to explain this a little. I like this visual a little better than that other screen, where it says your academic mastery plus your student success indicators is 80% of that student's of the score. I'm going to assume that they're probably going to take the entire 11th to 12th grade, figure out what that 80% is, and then you get 10% of your SAT proficiency and 10% of your graduation rate to get your total score. This screen just shows how we calculate that. They're saying graduation rate of 95% is worth 100 points. So if our graduation rate was 93, you would divide it by the 0.95, and we would get 95 points. For the SAT, they're saying 60% is proficient, which is the maximum 100 points. So in this example, math was 16, English was 46, the average is 31. Divide that by the 0.6, you get 52 points. Okay, so that's how they're saying we're going to average these. Here's the initial grading scale that we're going to start with. If you notice at the bottom, it says once 25% of the schools earn an A, then we're going to increase the grading scale by 2.5 points. That can happen twice, and then we finally end up with our final grading scale. And then this is the link. If anybody is interested, you can go to this website, and it is on the DOE's website, and it has their full presentation, which I've had copied a few slides on there, but it gives all their ins and outs of what they're doing. There's still more information to come. It's supposed to be coming here even in May, but we've not seen it yet, and more details on how are they going to calculate the growth on behind the scenes. Where are they pulling these numbers from? We don't have all that information yet, but they said it's going to happen. And we will have our 0-year scores supposedly yet this summer. So, okay, that's the accountability.
Okay,
We do not have any patron comments.
all right. On to the minutes. I think everybody has had an opportunity to review them. Any corrections or additions? If there are none, I think we can take, since there's no additions or corrections, we could approve all three of them together.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Thank you. Claims and financials.
All right, Amy's not here this evening, but please look at your May claims. I don't have them pulled up yet, but if you have any questions, let me know. If not, we would ask for a motion to approve the May claims.
Do you have a motion?
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Okay, next, we would ask for a motion to approve the May supplemental payroll report if there are no questions.
Motion to approve the supplemental payroll. Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Okay, next, we don't need a motion, but monthly financial reports are there. Please look over those. If you have any questions, let me know. You will see that we are a little lower in some areas, but we won't get our next draw until next month, and then we'll be okay.
So back to the property tax reform and potential for reduced payments to schools. Looks like we'll get those draws in June and December. Are you guys hearing any more information at all on, is there a risk of an impact this year?
We've not heard anything else. There was one piece that came out where it said that we could try and take some of it out of our debt service so that the impact wasn't so much on operations, but we're not allowed to keep cash in debt service. You're only allowed to keep as much money as you can have in there to make your debt service payments. That's the only thing that we've heard, so we are not doing that. We don't have any extra money to be able to try and, take some of that weight. But with Amy planning for things the way she has, right now we're okay. It's more that 27, 28 years that we're more concerned about, and that's where we've been saving up on the cash. But any more specific details, no, not at this time. Any other questions?
We'll continue on if there's not. for new business recommendation to approve the purchase of ELA curriculum.
So you will see a couple different things in that request for Mrs. Duncan. Part of it is what they used last year and some of it is not. I think that idea of using it for a year actually worked out
Worked really well.
in our benefit.
They decided they did not like the success meter, so, we're moving away with that portion of it, so.
And at a big savings too.
It's a large savings.
Yeah. So if there are any questions, we would ask for a motion.
Will the full amount come out of this calendar year, or is it spread across the years?
This is included in the 26 budget.
Okay.
Motion.
Thank you. All in favor? Thank you.
Next, I would ask for a motion to approve the advertising for the fuel and propane bids for the 26-27 school year. It's that time of year again.
Motion to advertise.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
The next piece is, it's our annual reapproval for Chartwells. This is year 3, I think, out of 4. You'll see all the documentation that's required through the state, the approval email from our rep at the state, as well as the renewal agreement that's unsigned at this point. But I would recommend that we approve Chartwells for another year, so I would ask for a motion.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
If you remember last month, you approved for us to be able to apply for the HELP loan, which Amy has done. We have been approved for Crossroads. They were the low bid for 4 years at 4.08% interest. So we would ask for a motion to approve that we go with Crossroads for 4 years at that 4.08%.
It's your turn. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Next, we would ask for a motion to approve the purchase and implementation of the Leader in Me at the elementary school. I know that that is something that Emily had met with Amy a year ago, and actually it's in the budget for 26. Amy had budgeted that for Emily, and I know that I think a couple of you went with Emily to a school visit to see Leader in Me in action. So we would ask for a motion to approve that purchase and implementation for next year.
Do we want to let her talk about it?
She can, if you would like.
We got to see it, some of them did, so.
Yeah, for those of you who might not have been able to join, so it's a leadership program, a little bit of infusion of character. I don't want to call it character infusion because it's definitely more broad than that. It's character based on the 7 habits of highly effective people. So if you have ever read or seen that text, so essentially that's kind of where the starting point is. It's really trying to infuse those 7 habits within the common language of our school. And so that's kind of what I feel like all along I've noticed, being a student here myself, having been a teacher here, and now jumping into the admin world, it's just, they have some really great things going on, but I think that from what I've seen, it's just a little bit of how do we connect everything? We need to get that common language down. And so this program here, I think I thought I could do it, like just go rogue myself as a principal coming in and just trying to do that, which I think you could in theory. But I think I'm learning the systems are a lot bigger than just one person. And so to find a curriculum that does that, it has resources, it has tools to, implore, that mass distribution of the same kind of message. This is that curriculum piece. And so there's opportunities to tweak it and make it your own. And we went to a school in Newcastle, but I've been to actually 3 different school corporations that have this, and all 3 have done it very differently. And so we're going to have a start small approach, go slow to go fast. And I've met with my teachers to get that buy-in too. So just, we're being very intentional about the rollout here, but yeah, it's a curriculum program based on those 7 habits, but it fuses to, the habits, the character development, leadership opportunities, so very student-led. That's definitely a huge theme of it. And then again, looking for that ownership of the student learning experience. And so it's just all encompassing, but I would love to talk more if anyone would be interested to talk more about it. Definitely let me know. So thank you guys.
It was pretty cool to see it, Westwood women.
Yeah, it was. It's impressive.
Yes. So do we have a motion to approve that? Motion.
Whoa.
Gotcha.
All in favor?
Next, I would recommend that we approve the facility use for the travel club for the car show. I have waived the fee on that because all of the money earned for that will go towards our students on the travel club. So, there is no fee. The recommendation is to approve it with no fee.
Any questions?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Next, Joe and Abby have a list of items that they would like to sell on GovDeals, so we're asking for approval to list those items.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
All right, next, I know that we really need to have another work session, but based on the timing, we wanted to go ahead and put the paving project on here. If you remember during our last work session, we had talked about the paving of out front parking lot, the back drive from 700 to the bus parking lot, and as well as the south drive that connects, or that runs on the south side of the gym that connects the front and back. There was also the option where they could mill it all down or just the entrances and around the walkways where we needed it. So we were on a level surface when they resurface it. Joe's recommendation is that we do not go with the higher bid, that we go with the lower estimate of only milling the entrances and where needed around the sidewalk, and not doing the south driveway right now, only doing the front lot and the driveway all the way to 700, not 700, to 103, in front of the elementary there. And then we would also do the road, the drive from 700 to the back parking lot. Just based on the fact that AB seal coating is starting to plan out for the summer, we wanted to put it back on here. So I would recommend, I would love to have an approval. My recommendation is that we would go with that. It is $172,600 for those areas. And to take that out of the 2025 bond would be my recommendation. However, you do have the option to table it if you would prefer to wait until work session, and we'll try to get one done here as soon as school's out.
Our advantage to approving it tonight would be getting on his schedule,
Yes.
which is Phil.
So you have maintenance built into the operations fund. Was there any discussion or look at taking the funding out of there?
There wasn't, but I mean, I can always ask. The plan had been, let me double check, make sure I'm telling you right, but she had it on, she had the full amount on the 2025 bond. On that monthly financials. Because I'm certain, because her and I checked that the other day.
Yes, back to our workshops, one of the quotes we were hoping to get was a quote to fix the facade,
The
the
facade.
front of the facade of the front of the building. Any progress on that, or?
We do have that. I don't remember what it was off the top of my head. Give me just a second.
Is it on the portion of the financials?
No, it's on the capital projects.
Oh.
I think I put it under, well, I don't know, she might have put it on. So
That's on here.
I have Taylor Construction came in at $945,000. Where McGuff Roofing was at the $1,085,593.
Says 977,550 in here.
Say that again.
$977,550.
That's because she's combined the building facade as well as painting the elementary gym together. And the elementary gym was $32,550 and I have it broke apart.
Okay. This one.
No, you can see it in there.
So.
Oh, she does, I see, she does have it on there.
What's the problem is, the way the spreadsheets are set up in some of those reports on our bond money, I don't think there's a clear, where are we today? Because the possibilities basically take it down to the bottom line. You have to do reverse math, figure it out. It's 7 different people doing it. I would like to suggest that those 2 reports for the 2022 bond and 2025 bond, we put that true remaining balance in there before the possibilities. Having said that,
I have that on mine,
okay,
that capitals project one.
Okay, where's that at?
Things on the folder.
It's, yeah, it's the, if you go off the workshop one,
Well,
if you just, how about I just share it with everybody again real quick?
It's got it on here as paid. This is on the financials report at the end. It says paid and then possibilities. It's broke up that way, but.
But she doesn't have a total, I have paid,
No.
and okay. And I do on mine.
But between the, it looks like between the facade and the paving, it would basically, both of them would pretty much eat that up.
wipe it out.
Yeah, because I show there was $1.2 million left after the furniture, but I haven't double checked mine to hers.
Well, and that would include, sorry, the high school gym, the AC for the high school gym,
Air conditioning,
Paving.
paving,
the facade.
building facade,
But
And then the
that
locker
box is
room.
over
epoxy
nearly
floor.
20 grand.
Right.
I just feel like we need to,
But we have 100, no, we have
But those
We
take
have
care of some-
91,000 in the 22 bonds still.
and those take care of, the possibilities take care of a lot of the bigger projects
Mhm.
between the building maintenance, the AC in the gym, the paving, locker rooms. Those were, I think, our big hitters when we did our tour as well, but.
Yeah, she has on here the softball field backstop fence.
Right, and so I have mine totaled before that if I take that off, we've got 91,000.
Right above it, the page right above it, it's the 2022.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
Yeah, I don't know when the paving folks came in, that, when the recommendation was made, that I would prefer to have more time between getting that information and having the opportunity to go back and look at our list and kind of.
Well, we discussed it at the workshop. We had those paving quotes at the workshop.
We didn't discuss how we were gonna break it down at the workshop. We discussed that they probably need to be broken down, separated.
Oh,
if
gotcha.
they'll afford it.
Gotcha.
So again, from my view, it's what exactly are we doing? Which sections of which item are we doing? What's that true cost to be able to make decisions on priorities? And, so again, that's just my preference would be understanding getting on schedule is important, but bigger picture is kind of where I'm at.
So I guess for you guys, I need a motion one way or another, either to approve it or table it. Whatever you guys prefer. And if there's no motion, it's gonna die. It'll just go off. It'll fall off.
Or it could be paid for out of the operations fund out of the next meeting.
Yeah. No, I mean, it can always be brought back if it dies
Okay.
tonight.
That's what
I
I
was gonna say, can we approve it pending where we want the payment to go? Or is that messy?
That gets messy,
And so,
and it's easier to table it or let it go and then bring it back
Yeah,
at the next one, if that's what we intend to do.
I guess the downside at this point would then be that they'd probably be doing paving during the school year.
and
Or
we
we
can't, because unless we make teachers park in the grass.
Right, or we'd have to have a special meeting before next month's regularly scheduled meeting in order. to
Which we
catch
could
the-
do
catch
if I
things
did
up.
a if we did a work session and put the paving on as the only item we voted on. I mean, we did that with,
Yeah, you have to list any items you would
Yeah.
be voting on.
Yeah.
But you run the risk that somebody else will have the spots on the schedule, and you won't be able to get it done before school
I
starts.
think the big thing is this something we want to do out of the bond? We've got to decide.
Exactly.
What are we doing out of the
How
bond?
are we paying for this?
Because
Yeah.
we've not decided, are we gonna do the facade, are we gonna do air conditioning, are we gonna do?
We can do it all.
I'd like
we
to,
can do it all.
don't have enough money.
Yeah,
The
It's in
things listed would show.
and we still have $19,813.60 left.
Is that, but is that a negative balance, or is that $19,000
That's the way it looks on my copy, is
It's-
that would be an overrun.
it is,
Everything of 19, but when you add the 22 back in, that takes 13 off, so you'd be looking at a total negative of 6, which you then have to cover through operations, rainy day or some
or the
other.
22 bond.
Well, if you do the project that's listed in it, the backstop as a possibility,
There's
Then we-
16,000 left.
then we end up with a negative of 3.
Yeah.
Of that total picture.
And we're down to zero bond money until 2030.
Exactly.
Right.
And the only avenues left are the help loans and things of that nature.
I just feel like this has been very disjointed this time. And it's, I don't know. But we didn't have one big project like we did last time.
Right, and I think that's what
Yeah.
makes it a lot more difficult, is we're trying to decide between very distinct projects instead of one large project, which is, always comes down to just a total dollar amount.
Okay, I don't hear a motion, so we're moving on. Okay, next, I don't need, a motion, but this would be the first reading of, the board bylaw and policy updates. I apologize for how many there are, and that some of them came in kind of last minute. They were just pushed out last week. There are still a couple more in my folder that, are gonna require some assistance from other people, because it's got some things that, like, I need to sit down with Amy on one of them to determine if it even applies to us. But these are the ones Neola just pushed out last week, so I wanted to get them on here for first reading today, so that we can do second reading in June, and it's one less thing that the new person coming in has to do. And those will be up to date. It does include like the new cell phone policy, as well as just some cleanup stuff and additional things. So, I know you may not have as much time to look through it as you have wanted, since some of them I just got updated this morning. Does anybody have any questions on anything they've seen so far? And if you do, as you're looking through them, reach out if you've got questions, or if you wanna sit down and go over anything, with me, I'll be more than glad to go over them. So again, that would be first reading. I'll bring it back next month. I think there's 2 bylaws in there, maybe, one bylaw, one policy that, so we wouldn't be able to vote on it unless everybody's here, but everything else we could vote on next month. So moving forward, we would ask for a recommendation to approve the personnel report, pending successful background check and other necessary paperwork. And Kim, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody has either passed the background check or at least started it.
Yes.
Correct. Does anybody need pulled out?
Didn't see any conflicts on this one. Scan back through it again.
We do have our summer school staff on there. I know that Emily and I had talked, is she gonna need 2 classrooms or 3 classrooms? It's gonna depend on the pass rate of that iRead. So I told her to go ahead and bring everybody. She knows what order it would be if we only need 2 classrooms, so, hopefully we'll have enough. We are doing it a little different this year. She wanted to do 4 intensive days, because she felt like with concentrating on the iRead, putting it over 2 weeks just wasn't beneficial. So she's gonna concentrate 3 days and then review on that last day and taking the test the last day. And so they'll start Tuesday after Memorial Day, be done that Friday. And then the junior, senior high school will go through Thursday the following week. And then everybody will be done.
Motion to approve the personnel report.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Next is professional leave and out of state and overnight field trips. Let me double check, make sure I didn't miss anything. Anybody have any questions on anything that's on there?
Stuff highlighted in yellow, is that new stuff?
That was for me to make sure that I didn't forget about it.
Gotcha.
Can't remember, did we do Kings Island last month? I don't think we did. Do you remember?
Back and look.
Yeah, you did.
Did we do it? Let me go back and look real quick.
It was on there, but.
Was
I
it?
kind of
Can't
think
be
it was
certain.
too, yeah, I wouldn't swear
I
to
was
it.
thinking that and the scene 75.
Scene 75 I know was, okay,
Yeah, I believe we did
Okay.
both of those.
which I don't think it would be highlighted if we hadn't, but I wanted to make sure, so. I do know one thing that I do want to go back and double check, and Kiana, this would be good for you also, since we do have a different band teacher, we need to revisit that spring break 27 trip,
The one to,
New York.
yeah, not sure that's, we'll revisit.
Yeah, yeah, we just need to make sure that if it is, everybody's on board.
Okay,
Thank you.
I got it.
All right, any other questions or comments on anything on there? Looking on the tree, I can't get it. Okay. Then the next would be updates. So the elementary and high school ECA reports are attached if there's any questions. Let me know, as well as the SRO report and the ABM update. One thing I did want to make sure that I invited all of you to, I have not sent it out to staff yet, but I will be. We will be providing breakfast on the last teacher workday, so Friday the 22nd. Breakfast will start at 7:30, and we're going to do some awards at 7:45 for years of service awards. So you are welcome to join us in the cafeteria.
Also, Mrs. Duncan emailed all of you, but capstone projects are being presented Thursday at 11:15. If you want to come and watch,
Yes.
Where is that?
I believe it'll be in here.
Yeah, so we've got a great end of the school year going, and it's here to come on pretty quick, but we've got a lot going on. Yeah, you're welcome to attend any of the,
Spring Olympics are Friday.
yep, Spring Olympics are Friday. Lots of fun stuff going on. No CTA tonight.
Can't believe we're already here.
I know.
No. So our next regular board meeting will be Tuesday, June 9. And the next executive board meeting is Wednesday, May 13, tomorrow, 4:30 again.
It is important.
Yes. Any board comments? If not, a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Okay.
I didn't see the negative number.